My name is Rohan Aluri, and today I will be going further in depth and reviewing the 2015 South Korean film Northern Limit Line. Before we get into the analytics and the content of the film, let's first introduce and get familiar with the director Kim Hak-soon. Kim was 61 years old during the time of Northern Limit Line's release and was a director of many other projects such as his debut film in 2003 called Rewind, and other movies later on throughout his career such as Dandelion, Kentucky Blues, and Abandoned. However, his most famous film was Northern Limit Line, which proved to be a box office hit as it drew more than 6 million viewers only 29 days after the film's release, allowing it to be one of the top grossing films released in the year 2015. Kim mentions in an interview how his film Northern Limit Line stood as a symbol to promote interregional peace as Korea remains the world's last divided country. Although the film took 7 years to make as initial investors backed out, Northern Limit Line is seen as a hit film as it generated approximately $38.9 million in revenue with a budget of $6 million. It turned out to be Kim's most populous film, and he was a recipient of the Special Jury Award at the Houston International Film Festival in 2016 and the Best Director Award at the Korea Culture Entertainment Awards in 2018 for his works. Northern Limit Line was produced by Rosetta Cinemas and has a total runtime of 130 minutes. The film was released first to the public on June 24, 2015. The film contains a lot of members within the cast as it portrays soldiers from both the North and South Korean forces. However, the lead characters that are most integral to the plot of the film are seen to be aboard on a South Korean vessel called PKM-357, and here we are introduced to Lieutenant Commander Yoon Young-ha, played by Kim Moo-yo. Moo-yo debuted as a musical theater actor and studied at Sukkyun University. His first successful film that allowed him to rise to stardom was Amuse. Another character within the film Northern Limit Line is Corporal Park Dong-hyuk, who is played by Lee Hyun-woo. Hyun-woo began his acting career as an early child and even hosted a music program for a cable channel in 2011. He is also seen in the recently published Netflix drama Money Heist Korea Joint Economic Area that released recently in 2022. Other actors in the film are Jin-gu as Sergeant Han Sun-kook, Lee Won as Lieutenant Lee Hee-won, and Kim Ji-hoon as Cho Chun-hyun. Now that we are familiar with the basics regarding the film Northern Limit Line, let's discuss the film's historical background and the significance that it has. The film introduces Korean history through a unique lens as it is based on a true historical narrative, often referred to as the Second Battle of Yeonpyeong, which occurred amidst the 2002 FIFA World Cup, in which South Korea and Japan were selected as host cities. It is important to note that the host city, South Korea, managed to reach the semifinals in the World Cup, racking up a large following during the games while becoming the first and only team from outside Europe and the Americas to reach the last four of a World Cup. For some historical context, the Northern Limit Line serves as a 12-mile demarcation line at sea between the Democratic People's Republic of Korea on the north and the Republic of Korea on the south. This line serves as military control and acts as a maritime boundary between North and South Korea. Another important policy we should make ourselves familiar with is the adopted Sunshine Policy. This policy is meant to soften North Korea's attitudes towards the South by encouraging interaction and economic assistance. However, in November 2010, the South Korean Unification Ministry officially declared the Sunshine Policy a failure, bringing the policy to an end due to strained relationships between Seoul and Pyongyang. It is also crucial to understand how historically at the time, the South Korean Ministry of Defense was aware of the North Korea's People's Navy looming attacks that are going to occur, but they did not take any action as they were ordered by the Blue House to stay put. The Blue House is the executive office and official residence of the President of South Korea, located in Jongno-gyu, the capital of Seoul. When looking back at the tragic Second Battle of Yeonpyeong, one might start to reconsider how the events may have been less catastrophic if the South Korean government had retaliated earlier. Now we can discuss the plot of the film. The film recalls how a freshly enlisted corporal, Park Dong-hyuk, was assigned to the South Korean vessel PKM 357, and later on 3 fishing rafts were subsequently sent by the North Korean Navy, and they were identified to contain spies with hopes to survey the South Korean Navy's defensive measures. The North Korean fishing rafts were seen to enter South Korean waters for the course of a month repeatedly. In light of the World Cup and to avoid potential public backlash, the South Korean higher authorities decided it is best to not engage via the adopted Sunshine Policy, allowing the North Korean undercover agents on the fishing rafts to have enough time to return periodically and to formulate a response to the Republic of Korea's defensive tactics. Lieutenant Commander Yoon Young-ha envisions potential conflict regarding a North Korean ambush and inquires for immediate action. However, the South Korean Ministry of Defense and the Blue House decide to still not yet engage. On June 19, 2002, a North Korean vessel ambushes PKM 357, resulting in 19 wounded and 4 deaths of those who were on board. By the time reinforcements from the South Korean Navy came, the North Korean vessel was able to successfully retreat, and naval divers eventually discovered the body of the captain who was driving the boat underwater in the sunken ship. The film concludes with Dong-hyuk being the last fatality of the incident and eventually passing away due to injuries, and those who were members of the crew in 2002 reminiscing over their fallen companions. Personally, after watching the film Northern Limit Line, I believe that the film served as a symbol to shed light towards the interregional disparity between North and South Korea. I believe that the director is attempting to convey how the once held ties prior to the Korean War in 1950 between the two countries must eventually be rewoven in order for both countries to witness long-term success and prevent the lives of the innocent from dying in warfare. Additionally, after watching the film, I learned how important it is for honesty and transparency to be mutual within the public and the government. Based on the Second Battle of Yeonpyeong, the South Korean government did not intervene and prevent the North Korean spies from entering with intentions that if the situation escalates and information about the attacks are released to the public, that it would cause chaos and fear within all the citizens and tourists who are in vicinity for the World Cup. The recurring theme of protecting one's reputation is seen once again in the film Northern Limit Line, as the South Korean government anticipated that a host city would be condemned and notoriously referred to if it is seen to be ambushed with 42,269 people watching the matches for the World Cup. It is evident that the South Korean government was given many warnings where, if action was taken earlier, the course of the Second Battle of Yeonpyeong may have been different, as there may have been less casualties involved. Lastly, I was impressed with the film's cinematography and pacing. For instance, during the fighting scenes, the director utilized a variety of close-up, over-the-shoulder, and high-angle shots, as well as panning the camera in order to make the encounters appear more realistic. Personally, I was a fan of this as I had a more interactive experience with the movie, and I got to see how the soldiers were actually feeling in battle. There were also a variety of scenes with a bird's eye shot to reveal the landscape and atmosphere of the situation at the time. Additionally, it is seen that the battle takes place only in the last 40 minutes of the film, despite the film's runtime of 130 minutes. I believe that the director effectively used the majority of the film to set up character dynamics and relations to the audience, as well as build up the plot and explain how the conflict unfolded. Thank you for your time and for watching. I hope you enjoyed the film Northern Limit Line, and I hope to see you soon.